Today I met a woman. People sitting alone always trigger my curiosity of what are the reasons behind it, if they are any relatively similar to mine. It's never something bad, but the opposite instead. She was just sitting there looking around while sipping her coffee. No phone or a book either. She seemed as if she was waiting for something to happen. I was sitting only few centimeters away from her, as the seats were that close, and that's how I like the coffee shops I go to be. They give me the impression as if the place was made for people to meet each other, as you're obliged to ask the person on the next seat if anyone is with them or to move a bit, and that's the icebreaker. Anyway, back to how she looked waiting for something. I noticed tattooed dots on her fingers and a key pendant in her necklace that was covered with a piece of fabric. I was only seeing vaguely on the edge of my eye. I turned my face and looked more. She felt it. She turned her face and looked into my eyes. I smiled, she smiled, and we both turned around. I started to imagine what they would mean. She doesn't look like the kind of a person she does something without a reason. Lots of ideas came to my mind, but then I thought, why put any assumption if she's still there and I can ask her? Once I turned my face to ask her, she moved herself more towards me, shattered my thoughts, and what came out of my mouth was, I was thinking if all people disappeared and got offered to spend 24 hours in this city, how I would spend them before people return. She smiled and turned around. I added, I can ask to leave you here with me if you'd like to see how the city will be, and turned on a cigarette. I heard silence. Nothing. We sat there alone, staring at people passing by, saying nothing. I thought it was over. I felt that probably, even if she's in public, probably she's asking for her privacy. I enjoyed her sitting there anyway. That was just fine to me. She sipped her last drop of coffee, stood up, and left. I heard sounds coming out as she stepped away. I can still smell her body fragrance till now. I looked back and found a piece of paper on the table. I waited a few minutes before grabbing it, as maybe she forgot it. Then I took the paper, and what was written on it was, I am Martina. Remember this name. I was thinking, what if every person is born as the person he used to love in their previous life? I'll come back in 30 minutes. Leave your name on the same table.